criminalizes in Uganda.
To push us to World War III.
It's not free speech.
Hey everyone, it's David, producer for The Benjamin Dixon Show and Like It or Not. Yesterday, Hillary Clinton was taking part in a panel discussion at Columbia University, and she was interrupted by a protester who wanted her to address President Joe Biden's position on Israel, as well as his seeking of bundled aid for Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan. And this wasn't your typical short interruption where he was shouted down by the audience and escorted out by security. He was eventually escorted out, I believe, but this actually was a lengthy interruption, and he was able to, at the very least, make things known about the situation. Before I get to the clip, as the world continues to watch, grapple, and react to the latest chapter in the Israel-Palestine saga, with Israel continuing its bombardment and siege on Gaza in retaliation to Hamas's utterly horrific attack on October 7th, we're really seeing an unprecedented response, an unprecedented amount of people pushing back and protesting in support of the Palestinian people. Over the course of decades of this 75-year-old conflict, the narratives put out by Israel and pro-Israel defenders has been really difficult to break through. But as with most things in this world, the internet has changed so much. We started to see a significant shift in 2020 or 2021 when Israel was striking Gaza, and there was profound outrage and people around the world showing support for the Palestinians. So let's take a look and see what happened yesterday.
I can't help be struck by the hypocrisy
of
this.
Two more people to hear from.
I'm sorry.
You have a chance. Well, I'm not sorry. You sit down.
I know you're not sorry. That's the point. The hypocrisy of this speech. The hypocrisy of the fact that what do you have? Can you please make a statement about President Joe Biden's speech? This is a clearly warmongering speech. President Joe Biden is calling for $100 billion of funding for Israel, Taiwan, and Ukraine, and we're supposed to just bundle these together and pretend like we're going to rush to World War III, and we're all just going to let Hillary Rodham Clinton sit here. Okay.
I'm sorry. You know, this is not the way to have a conversation.
I'm sorry.
If you want to have a conversation, you're welcome to come talk to me afterwards.
You can sit here. Okay, right. You're gonna wait for me, right? Please, I do not believe you.
And I will listen to you, and I will respond to you.
I do not believe you. Respectfully, I do not believe you.
So we'll pause there. This was a panel discussion again at Columbia University. The event was titled "Making Human Rights Come Alive," the UDHR at 75. UDHR standing for Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which would make this a very fitting event to bring attention to the Palestinian people right now. The attendees were Michelle Bachelet, Alida Black, Frank Mugisha, and Marissa Ressa. Hope I'm pronouncing those names correctly. And of course, Hillary Clinton. I always find it interesting when prominent people are interrupted and immediately try to claim it's not the proper time, it's not the proper environment. That's the thing about protesting and speaking out on something that is controversial and trying to bring attention to something that needs to be looked at from a broader perspective outside of the typical propaganda and narrative. There is never a comfortable time. There's never an appropriate time. It's not supposed to be a one-on-one conversation. The point of this is to bring attention to it, and they don't like that. You know, Clinton and, as we'll see, the moderator on the panel, protest interrupts a comfortable conversation and brings aspects of situations that may be outside of the boundaries that the parties involved want to discuss. Despite Clinton's attempts to try to get him to stop or to bring attention away from him, he was resilient and he was able to continue.
The American people's voice are what need to be heard.
Yeah, they are being heard.
Because our president is not speaking for the American people, and neither are you.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion.
Yes, that's my opinion.
Well, then sit down. We've heard your opinion. Thank you very much. Now we're going to turn to people who are on the front lines.
I'm not going to stop
working on behalf of human rights.
I'm going to exercise my free speech.
But it's not free speech when you are disrupting everybody else's opportunity to speak.
This is free speech, everyone. This is free speech. That is not free speech. This is people constructing narratives that are openly hypocritical.
And again, we see that these prominent people always try to define free speech narrowly. She thanked him for his opinion, didn't answer his question. And he's right, this is free speech. It protects exactly this type of tactic in trying to bring attention to something that desperately needs attention brought to it, especially when it's a forum discussing human rights. Let's keep going.
Will you denounce Joe Biden? Will you denounce Joe Biden's
for human rights, not just yelling about it. So, Frank, I want to turn to you because you are from Uganda, and Uganda's 2023 Anti-Homosexuality Act criminalizes LGBTI conduct in Uganda.
To push us to World War III.
Oh,
Do you
please.
understand? It's not about Israel.
I'm going to pause there because as they were trying to move beyond him and ignore him, there were two things that Clinton did. First, she dismissed him because he's just yelling about human rights. I couldn't make out what she said, but she was giving credit and acknowledging the expertise or knowledge that the people in the forum have and are working on behalf of human rights, and dismissed his shouting about human rights as if what he's doing is not important, when we know that the majority of Americans really tune out civics and are distracted. The other thing she did there towards the end before I paused it was react very sarcastically and flippant when he said that the situation in Israel can lead to World War III. It threatens a third world war. It's that dangerous. And she said, oh, please, let's go back to that real quick.
Criminalizes LGBTI conduct in Uganda.
To push us to World War III.
Oh,
Do you
please.
understand? It's not about
So he said Joe Biden is trying to push us into World War III. He's warmongering, and that it's not simply about Israel and Palestine, and that it's not just about rooting for teams. And Hillary Clinton very flippantly said, oh, please, like, you're exaggerating. I don't think he's exaggerating. I don't know that the Biden administration is actually trying to get us into World War III. The reports that we've seen in the past couple of days are that finally the Biden administration is pushing much harder for the Israeli government to show restraint, and they are trying to hold them back from the ground invasion into Gaza because they want to try to work on the hostage situation, which makes sense. They're not really pushing for restraint on the bombing campaign, which has so far killed nearly 6,000 Palestinians, innocent Palestinians, but they do seem to be trying to hold Israel back in terms of a ground invasion. Not enough at all, but I'm not sure that the Biden administration is seeking World War III. But his language is important, and it does bring attention to just how serious this is, because if the conflict spills out and brings in Hezbollah and Iran and Egypt and other countries in the region, it can spread very quickly and become a significantly bigger problem. All right, let's finish the clip.
Israel and Palestine. It's not it's not football. This isn't football. It's not Team America.
Well, I'm sorry, but some of us are on Team America despite our flaws and our problems.
Yes, that's me.
And some of us, every person on this stage.
You have to stop right now. You have to stop.
Wait, I want to say one thing. Every person on this stage has risked their life, their income, their reputation, their careers, and what have you done other than stand up and disrupt?
I need you to
I will put my record and these women's records and Frank's records against you any day of the year.
I'll respond. What I have done is I have asked Hillary Rodham Clinton to denounce the president's openly warmongering, suicidal, idiotic speech.
And I've given my answer. I will not do that. So that's the end of our conversation. But I'll still meet you outside. But you're done
right now.
Okay, Frank. Frank has been.
She said she'll meet me outside.
Okay.
And there we have it. She did answer it. She refused to denounce it, which I would expect. No, Hillary Clinton is very hawkish as well, and I wouldn't expect her to not support Israel and to show more than the limited remorse for the Palestinian people that we've seen from moderates and war hawks. It's interesting that even the moderator put down the protester, comparing him to the people that were taking part in the panel. She claimed everyone on the panel put their life, careers, income, etc. on the line at risk to do work on behalf of human rights. I'm hoping she was really only speaking about the 3 other people on the panel in the middle there and not Hillary Clinton, because if she's suggesting that Hillary Clinton put her life, her career, her income at risk on behalf of human rights, that's a ridiculous claim. While over the years she's been a voice on behalf of human rights, she's at the same time exhibited doublespeak and supported numerous wars: Iraq, Afghanistan, the overthrowing of Gaddafi in Libya, infamously. All in all, I thought this guy did a really solid job. He didn't allow them to shut him down. He was able to really get his message out in a significant way. Getting the message out is really crucial at a time where people are finally starting to question the nuance of the situation in Israel, the dynamics, and who's really being victimized in the Israel-Palestinian conflict. And on that note, speaking about freedom of speech, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll be back with more as we follow the ongoing situation.